Today I'm chatting about my upcoming New Year trip, possibly across Europe. But first, we've got a real proper mix. Someone's chugging beers at lunch, another's trapped next to the world smelliest passenger, and a fortune teller who didn't predict getting caught. Let's get straight into it. It's episode 204, Fortune Stealer. Hello guys, how are we out there? Hope you're good, man. Do you know what? I feel like I've got another cold, believe it or not. Like, I don't know where it's come from. But today is absolutely freezing. God, the winters in the UK are absolutely terrible at the moment. We had Storm Goretti, like spaghetti, in the UK that came towards the West Midlands. Yes, Birmingham was absolutely covered with snow. Not a lot of snow, but there was snow. Somebody suggested to me to go onto TikTok Live and walk around the block and see how many people will watch. I ended up with 300 people at one point watching my live. I couldn't believe it. I've never had anyone, or that many amount of people, watching me on the TikTok. Well, they couldn't really see me. I was just talking and then walking around the streets of my neighbourhood. And I couldn't believe the amount of people that were just watching. Amazing. If only I could get that amount of people watching my actual live. And I feel like I missed out as well while I was walking around the block. I didn't notice this at the time. Maybe it was the time that I went around there. It was about midnight I was walking around. And I noticed the sky was slightly purple. But apparently before that, the sky over Birmingham was completely purple. And I was like, wow, is that something to do with the atmosphere? Like, is that the us bouncing off the sky and then coming back? Or is it because of the storm? And they called it, what did they call it? They called it like a superstorm or something. And it basically had different types of layers. So it started raining at first, then sleet followed. The sleet after that came the snow. And then with the snow, it was like 90 miles per hour gusts of wind. And I thought maybe that was the reason. It turns out the mystery of the purple sky was because there was aerial shots taken on Friday. They were showing pink glowing lights at the Birmingham City football ground. Now, the Birmingham City football ground was lighting up both the sky and the stadium. So the LED lights that they were using on the actual pitch was just shooting up into the atmosphere and giving Birmingham a really complete purple sky. Maybe because of the snow and the sleet and the winds, I don't know. But everyone in Birmingham thought, oh my God, how beautiful does Birmingham look? Other people that don't live in Birmingham were like, wow, does this always happen in Birmingham? Yeah, whenever we get snow, the sky just turns purple. But yeah, it was due to a Birmingham City ground just lighting up the whole sky. Funny enough, the following day, I went for the Storm Goretti aftermath to see how much damage was caused. There wasn't a lot. And I was walking around. You could still see the sky was slightly purple, but only in one spot. And there was a couple of clouds over the sky that were completely purple. And obviously, that was just a pinpoint location for me to know where the Birmingham City ground was. Now, I think because I've been walking everywhere, all around the area, I've ended up catching another cold. How can you get 3 colds within the space of a month? That doesn't even make sense. I mean, I've had the builders round today, and I've recorded this quite late, to be honest, folks. And because they came over today, I wasn't able to do the recording. So this is quite late for me to record this podcast episode for you lot. There's not a lot to say because nothing has happened to me. Oh, funny enough, as I mentioned, when we had the snow, I mean, you could barely even drive in it. And I thought, let me see how many people in the gym. just out of curiosity. I looked on the app because it tells you how many people are in there. There was only 2 people in the gym that I go to, which usually, whenever I go, there's like 60 to 80 people at one time. 2 people? They must have had the whirl of a time in the gym on their own, innit? If that was me, mate, I'd be so happy in there. I mean, you've got all the equipment to yourself. No one's going to make a mess. That's what I hate about going to the gym, the one I go to. Because people just leave weights everywhere. Oh, it annoys me. I think I've got ADHD. Not ADHD. What's the one where you're always cleaning? I can't remember what it is now. Anyway, I've probably got that because some people just don't want to put their weights back properly. And then I end up moving it to the correct position that it's supposed to be in. I don't know. I've got OCD, that's it. I think I've got OCD, folks. Anyway, let's do a topic because this is going to be very random and I'm hoping I don't have to edit this as much. But let's start off with a British problem. British problem. Someone's got a problem with Sir David Attenborough. Someone's got a problem with Sir David Attenborough. How can you have an issue with David Attenborough? I think he's an absolute legend. But somebody on the British Problems Reddit forum is saying David Attenborough has told a lie. This is from Tug. They are saying I was watching a wildlife programme and he said that slugs and snails are a hedgehog's favourite food. I thought they are, aren't they? Whereas they aren't top of the foods that hedgehogs like to eat. Beetles, followed by caterpillars, are the number 1. Wild foods for the hedgehog. Ha 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 ha. For some reason, he's put an edit on here. Hedgehogs love eating slugs and snails. This fallacy stems largely from flawed research undertaken nearly half a century ago, which is still repeated despite ample evidence to the contrary. A hedgehog will typically eat slugs and snails only if other food is scarce, so that it risks starvation. There's a good reason why hogs don't usually eat these molluscs. Slugs and snails are immediate host of lungworm, a parasite that will rapidly kill a hedgehog if left untreated. Caterpillars and beetles form the bulk of a hedgehog's diet, but since butterfly and moth numbers have declined in recent decades, I didn't know that, hogs often struggle to find their preferred food. Help reverse this trend by nurturing wildness in your garden and community spaces. Plants often considered weeds such as nettles, ragwort, are important food plants and provide valuable habitat for insects on which hedgehogs feed, as well as being great for wider biodiversity. So this is according to Tug. He's saying that Sir David Attenborough told an absolute fib that hedgehogs don't just eat slugs and snails, they actually eat different stuff. Not that. That's the last thing they'd want to eat. So let's see if David Attenborough has actually told a lie. Now, I haven't watched this. There is a new nature documentary on the BBC and it's filmed in London. And I think it's to do with wildlife that live in big cities like London and the UK and how they have adapted to it. And I was going to watch it, funny enough, but I ended up watching the Dave Chappelle comedy special on Netflix, and I thought it was genius. Some people don't like it, but I think Dave Chappelle is a goat. And he's one of my favourite comedians. Right then, let's have a look. I've got to go on Chat LGBT. We haven't been on Chat LGBT for ages. What do hedgehogs eat? This is what I'm going to ask it. What do hedgehogs eat? Right, let's see what it says. Hedgehogs are omnivores, but they mainly eat bugs. So what hedgehogs eat in the wild? Insects, beetles, caterpillars, and earwigs. Well, he was right. They do eat worms and slugs, snails, spiders, millipedes. Occasionally they'll eat a small frog, bird eggs, or fallen fruit. Basically, they're nature's little pest controllers. Kind of a bit like rats, aren't they? What you can feed a hedgehog. Here you go, guys. So if you want to keep the hedgehog population going, you can help by giving it cat or dog food, chicken or beef, but not fish. Special hedgehog food. Can you actually buy hedgehog food? Plain cooked meat with no seasoning on it, obviously, and water. They love water, especially in dry weather. This is what you shouldn't feed them. So let's see if Tug was absolutely right. You can't give them milk, bread, sugary food, and fish-based pet food. But hedgehogs can eat up to 100 insects a night, which means if you've got one in your garden, it's basically doing unpaid pest control while snoring loudly in a bush. There you go. So in a way, Sir David Attenborough wasn't telling a lie, mate. Because according to Chat LGBT, they can eat snails and slugs. So I don't know who's right. Is it Tug, or is it Sir David Attenborough? Do you know what? It's not far off for the Leicester Comedy Festival, and that's in February. And yes, you guys already know, but I'm doing another show there. My show, Half Soaked, with edited bits. It's got some new bits in it. I've took a couple of bits out. That's what we do, don't we? So I'm doing that again. It's on the 15th of February on Sunday. I haven't sold many tickets, to be honest, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, because last year I sold none. Well, I sold 2. I ended up cancelling it. I thought I'm not going to perform to 2 people in a massive room. It's just going to be weird. So I'd like to shift a few more. If you fancy it, come down. It'd be great. As I mentioned, it's on Sunday, the 15th of February. It's at a place called the King Richard III pub. Tickets are only a £5. I mean, that's dirt cheap. So if you fancy it, go onto the website and, grab some. Because I need some money, you see. I want to do a really big holiday. I'm thinking about doing it this year. I'm not sure, because I've had a lot of work done on the house, and obviously I need money now to pay for my mortgage and the rest of the bills. But I'm planning to do a holiday into Europe. I want to drive to Sweden. Sorry, to not Sweden, to Switzerland. We could go to Sweden, but that's way up north, isn't it? But I want to drive through France into Switzerland, and then maybe go to Italy, and then on the way back, possibly Austria, I'm not sure yet, through to Germany, into Luxembourg, Berlin, and then back to the UK from there via the Eurotunnel. I've been watching so many videos because my missus wants to go to Switzerland. Like, she loves, like, trees and mountains and stuff. And she's seen pictures of it, like postcard pictures. She's like, I really want to go there. I said, why don't we go there for our 50th, which is in a few years? And she's like, no, don't. Oh, she's like, why don't we just go now? Why wait till then? And I suppose she's right in it. So that's what I want to do. But I want to drive, obviously, because I don't want to take an aeroplane. And someone actually has a problem with aeroplane on No Stupid Questions. No stupid questions. Yeah, it is No Stupid Questions from Reddit. As always, Annual Magazine is the username who has a problem with aeroplanes. What is their problem? Smelly people. Yes, they don't like smelly people. Smelly people on planes in particular, it says on the title. What do you do when you're sitting near somebody that smells really bad on a flight? What do you do? Right, let me think, because she's asked the question. What do I do? Oh my God, do you know what? It's a very interesting question, because I've never had that problem. Maybe I'm the smelly one. And I don't even know. I would probably grab one of my little aftershaves that I usually carry with me and spray it by my face, so that's all I smell. That's probably what I would do. They're saying that there was on a 4-hour flight, and the lady sitting in the row behind me smelled really bad. I mean, it was beyond body odour. Oh my God. Imagine a skunk and roadkill going on a date at a sewage plant. That's hilarious. She's saying she was from some African country and didn't speak English. Maybe she was actually carrying a dead skunk that got killed on the roadside and it was pulled out of a sewage. You know, when you watch those border controls and they stop people and they go, what you got there? It's mainly in Australia, funny enough. And then they pull out, like, I don't know, it's always like the South Asians and East Asia, should I say. You know, they've got like all these animals in a bag, and I've watched it. It's brilliant. It's probably something like that. Maybe that's I forgot what I was saying, but maybe that could be it. So she was from some African country. She didn't speak English, and apparently the couple sitting beside her tried to talk to the flight attendant about the smell. The flight attendant came by to talk to her with zero luck. I was sitting at a window seat and hugged my elbow to my nose for 4 hours. Wow. That must have been, like, proper serious, isn't it? They're saying it was the worst flight experience they've ever had. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Aniel. I don't know why I'm laughing, but what can you actually do? The thing is, you can't kick them off because you're up in the air, so that's pointless. The flight attendant, I don't know what they can do. Don't they have like air fresheners or masks or something that they can give to her or the rest of the people? Maybe she's got a problem, like a bodily problem. I don't want to gross you out. Years ago, when I used to catch the bus to go to work or school, I think it was. I can't remember now. I was really young. We used to have this man who used to catch the bus. And soon as the bus doors opened, you could smell him. He hasn't even walked onto the bus. Oh my God, it was horrendous. When I mean horrendous, it was horrendous. Now, he stunk out the whole bus. This guy used to sit downstairs, on the downstairs of the bus. We used to sit at the top. And you could smell it all the way to the back of the bus, and you're upstairs. Apparently, this guy had some kind of gangrene or something on his feet. Oh, God, it was awful. Do you know what? That's one thing I'll never forget. And people, when they used to see him coming on the bus, some people would get off the bus. As soon as they see him, they're like, right, I'm not sitting on this bus. They would get off it and wait for the next one. Because this man used to stink out the whole plane. I mean, the whole bus. Now, I think this is probably... It sounds like they've got a body odor problem. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there could have been something wrong with their foot. God knows. I don't know what I would do in that situation. You've actually got me stuck. I don't even know what I would do. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I know I say this every year, but January for gigs is awful. I haven't got any gigs at the moment. The only ones I've got this month is the end of the month. Honestly, the last weekend of the month, I've got 2 gigs. I was supposed to be supporting Mick Miller this weekend. Unfortunately, they decided to book a singer. I don't know why. I don't think it's because of me. I mean, I imagine if it was because of me, they thought, no, we don't want this guy again. Let's get a singer. That'd be absolutely awful. Maybe that's the reason promoters are not booking me now. Maybe they think I'm not as good as I think I am. God knows. I don't know. I shouldn't really think like that, but it's just a bit heartbreaking that I'm not gigging. Now, you guys know I love it. Like, I don't drink alcohol now. I don't do anything exciting. So for me, doing actual comedy is the biggest thing I can do. I'm hoping things change. There are a couple of things later this year which are quite exciting. I am looking forward to that at the moment. But as it is, I just wish I had more gigs. Maybe a miracle will happen. That's what happened in the last couple of months. Do you remember? Where the gigs just came out of the blue. Maybe that's what I need to do. Pray a little bit, keep writing. And then, because I can talk about them then. Because I haven't got any gigs to talk about to you guys. So that's... You can only laugh, innit? If you don't laugh, you're going to cry. Talking about laughing and crying, let's do another topic and then we'll end it with a weird news story. Because I really don't know what to tell you lot. And we are going for a confession because I haven't done one in ages. Yes, today's confession has been posted by somebody called Alarmed Gap. Their confession: I chugged 2 beers on my lunch break in the car while being stared at. Eh? They chugged 2 beers on their lunch break in their car while being stared at. Okay, I feel like I have to do my confession as well because I've done something very similar. Let's read what Alarmed Gap has done. I was so tired and going through a lot and was also on PMSING. I don't know what that means. I still had beer in my car from New Year's Eve. I was in my car and I threw one back and I looked over and saw his co-workers staring at him. I asked if they wanted a beer and he said no while judging me. So I threw his back while staring at him. Work was surprisingly tolerable going back. Oh my God. Did you had 2. It wasn't like you just had the one. You had 2 beers in your car on your lunch break. I mean, you could get sacked for that, I think. I'm not sure if you're allowed to do that, especially if you're on a job. You could have got breathalyzed or something like that. I don't know. Something could happen to you, mate. But I've got a confession, actually. I've done something very similar on my lunch break. Here we go. I don't even know how I'm going to tell you this lot, but here we go. So my confession is, when I was very, extremely young, it was one of my first jobs, actually. Me and a couple of friends of mine decided to have a little bit of, let's call them herbs. We had herbs during our lunch break. And I tell you what happened. We got back inside the office. I used to work in an office then. And I was absolutely out of it. Honestly, I couldn't be bothered to do anything. All I was doing, I was just leaning back on my chair. I remember it. And I was just looking at my friends and we just kept giggling at each other. So, I don't know if anyone knew, but there was about 3 or 4 of us. I mean, you were on your own. But imagine me, like, you know, stoned out my head doing that. But that's a great confession. Thank you so much for telling us. I would love to know whether you still kept your job or not. Talking about jobs, actually. See how I smoothly went into this? Someone in, I'm not sure where it is, possibly Thailand. Now, they've got a job and they've been up to something very, very naughty. It is the weird news story. Fortune teller accused of stealing a client's phone to make the bad luck prophecy come true. Yes, a fortune teller who should supposed to be proper working decided to nick the client's phone to show them that things do come true. It is Thailand. A Thai fortune teller has been arrested for allegedly stealing a teen's phone after telling her she was gonna face bad luck and lose a valuable possession on New Year's Day. The suspect, identified as a 38-year-old man, he was outside a temple in Pattaya when the teen saw his fortune-telling services on the 1st of Jan around 6 o'clock in the morning. That's a very early time to get your palms read. The man warned her that she was on the brink of a misfortune and would lose something valuable, urging her to give some money to avert bad luck. However, the 19-year-old, identified only as Pim, refused to give the man any money. Shortly after leaving the session, Miss Pim realised her iPhone 13 Pro was missing. She recalled that she had placed the phone beside her during the fortune-telling session and then returned to the spot. When confronted, the fortune teller insisted the loss proved the accuracy of his prediction. That's brilliant. So he was like, I told you something bad's going to happen. But he's the one that nicked the phone. That's great. Even going so far as to describe what the thief supposedly looked like. He gave a description of what's going to happen. I wonder if he gave a description from himself. He must have already took the mobile phone when they came in. They must have sat down and he saw the mobile and he kind of sneaked it out, yeah? So they didn't notice. And then he said to them, oh, something bad's really going to happen. This is what the person looks like, describing himself. The teen grew suspicious and immediately sought help from members of the public. The Kassad newspaper reported, police were called after the phone was allegedly discovered in the fortune teller's bag. Oh my God, that's brilliant. Hidden inside a box meant for a face mask. He reportedly admitted the theft to the police and pleaded with Miss Pim not to press charges, claiming he was a first-time offender and needed money for the new year. The police took him into custody at Pattaya City Police Station, seizing the stolen phone along with his fortune-telling equipment. The phone was eventually returned to Mrs. Pin. Mrs. Pin. I wonder if he knew his pin number, Mrs. Pin. That's frigging great. That is today's weird news story. Unfortunately, it's earlier than it usually is. Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean, innit? But we're almost there. We're not that far off. A couple of minutes off than what we usually try to aim for on this podcast. Guys, this is it. I mean, I've got a bit of a runny nose. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you could do me a massive favour, I say at everyone, share it, like it, subscribe, leave a comment. Helps with the algorithms, basically. And take it easy. I'll see you lot next week. Yeah, stay tuned. Ta-da now.